PvP in FromSoft games is a long and storied history. On one hand, many people love how it ties into the worlds that Miyazaki has painstakingly crafted for us to play, and others don't seem to understand why it exists or ruin their multiplayer experience with their friend. And their masterpiece, Elden Ring, is not an exception to this rule. However, while this wonderful game has many of the same things that made others in the franchise awesome, it also has its own ugly face that the other games just don't have. So with less than a month left before the Shadows of the Erdtree DLC drops, let's look into the best parts, the worst parts, and the just plain unsettling parts of the Elden Ring PvP before the DLC has a chance to change all of this. Testing your skills, builds, and just chilling with friends are several of the reasons that PvP can be fun in this game. No matter what game you play, seeing your hard work at getting good actually equate to you winning more matches in a fight, whether it be in the Coliseum or while being invaded, can give you such a gaming high that you don't just get from playing the game. Hell, my love for pitting myself against others started way back on the Sega with Mortal Kombat, and my competitive side got boosted when I got into Smite. But neither of these games have challenges like Millennia. So just imagine the feeling you get knowing you can beat someone else that has beaten one of gaming's hardest bosses in a one-on-one fight. It gives you just an overwhelming feeling that you have the skills needed to try new and more exciting things, which leads perfectly into builds. And while they are not as complicated as in other games where PvP is a thing, trying out new builds in Elden Ring and seeing what scenarios that do or do not work is a great way to keep the game fresh and new. While I know it's not the greatest build there is, to me there is no better feeling than sniping an unexpected invader with the Bolt of Grandstacks. And the small change in either charging it all the way or quick firing it is subtle enough that it often messes with people's dodge timing. My fellow creator Cream of the Crop here enjoys more of a Nagikaba with his Stormblade ability. What are some things you guys like to do with your builds? Leave a comment in the comment section below so we can talk about it. I know others enjoy nuking you with large spells like Cannon of Hammond, or even incantations like Mr. Placidus Axe, but these can be easily exploited. But the best part, to me at least, about PvP is just having fun with my friends and others on the channel who watch and also like to play the game with us. If you'd like to join us, subscribe so you can see when we go live and join our PvP sessions. Help us show the rest of the Souls community that it's not a requirement to be toxic and that we can just have fun. This game has so many things that we can celebrate with its PvP scene. As mentioned earlier, however, a few things that a lot of people don't seem to realize that they can do have to do with seemingly unimpressive items in the game. Are you having trouble with being invaded too often while running with a friend or trying to help that guy off Reddit get through a tricky part of the game? Use the White Cipher Ring. This will summon in blue phantoms that will help you fight your PvP enemies. Want to be a white knight of sorts and help others that have trouble being invaded? Activate the Blue Cipher's Ring and wait for the call to help. Both of these aspects add a massive depth to the game. And in a way, as the invader, if you are into massive challenges, this is the best way to see just what you have when you go against the overwhelming odds of up to endless waves of opponents spawning to kill you. But wait, there's more! And this can be used as both the invader and in a party with friends. And while many in the community will say that they are useless, these lesser used items can stop host assassinations. The Furled Fingers Trick Mirror and the Host's Trick Mirror can be used to alter your appearance while helping the host of the world and make you look like the host, and the host look like the helper, which can lead to confusion to the invaders. They'll like to just attack the host and leave. Mind you, this can lower the power of your overall build due to these items taking up a talisman slot, but the confusion can make the difference when used right. Not to mention, with the right gear, as an invader, using the Furled Finger Trick Mirror can help you blend in better until you can come down on those that you have decided to invade, sort of like camouflage in other games. But we all know there's no such thing as a perfect game, and the PvP section of the Elden Ring community is what's brought up by a lot of people when you ask what's bad about the game. But what are the things that are bad about the game? I am by no means an authority on the subject. However, with well over 600 hours of gameplay, let me try to take a crack at this. While talking to others in the community, it seems that the majority of bad actors are not in the Coliseum, but in invasions. While not all invaders are evil red men trying to ruin your experience with the game, this does seem to be where a majority of the bad actors are in my experience. The channel Emotional John does a wonderful job spreading the perspective of the invader and has helped me realize the challenge some of these players are trying to achieve in their invasions. While he shows a noble path, there are those who, especially on PC, do what they can to cheat, for lack of a better word. And even though Elden Ring has anti-cheat measures in place, some players have gotten everything from permanent invincibility frames to super speed put into the game, just to grief those of us who are trying to have fun with our friends. Just know that these people can be beat with some clever parkour tricks and a few different places on the map. Have you ever had these experiences? If so, let us know in the comments section, and I might even make a commenter's example video about other experiences with other PvP issues we have with the game. Recently, I tried what I considered the hardest challenge that one can do in Elden Ring in this video here, where I try to keep the Taunter's Tongue and Blue Cipher Ring active the whole time, and if I die, I lose a weapon. Well, I said all that so I can say another problem with bad things in PvP. This is when people with very strong end-game gear show up in early level areas and just have their way with people that stand no chance against them unless they themselves are exceptional at PvP, which I at least am not. Personally, I'm not a fan of the get good mentality when it comes to PvP. However, I know that when you get on the game in online mode, you are saying you are okay with PvP. If you choose to enter into online aspects of the game, it's just something that you must know. And while some of you have problems with it, you are agreeing to it every time you sign on to the video game's online mode. The only way to fix this issue is either practice to a level of competence so that you can at least get to a give and take level that you're okay with, or have to stay in offline aspects of the game. I know this sucks, and I'm certain that if you play on computer, there are mods that can make it so this doesn't happen. But for the rest of us, we just have to endure with what they gave us. Okay, well that got a bit deep, so let's get back to something with a bit more hilarity. We all have had that weird experience with PvP in any game, where things just get awkward, whether it be hits not connecting, or hits that look way off actually hitting you. In Elden Ring, hell, all FromSoft games are notorious for having what we as a community has lovingly coined as spaghetti code. Normally this causes issues with latency and connectivity, which can make timing your attacks, blocks, and parries all miss due to the system not registering the enemy being where he was when you swung at him. These can lead to many funny issues, like grabbing two opponents at the same time with grapple attacks, like Lifesteal Fist. However, fellow Tarnished, do you know the ugliest thing in Elden Ring's PvP, pre-Shadow of the Erdtree, that most people have complained about? Go ahead and comment in the proper place down below. I'll wait. It's the lack of true reason to actually play the PvP as it is. In previous FromSoft titles, we had covenants that we could fight for that would give us special gear and would add that extra special that would make it so that people inside the community would go out of their way to actually compete in the PvP and get better at it. I just hope that they sneak in a few different factions and maybe a leadership board or something in the new DLC. Honestly, I think that would make the Coliseum scene in the game explode to new heights and at least remove one of the two ugly aspects of the PvP in Elden Ring. With that being said, fellow Tarnished, let me ask you, what is your favorite and least favorite things about Elden Ring PvP scene? Let me know down below and I'll respond to everything you guys leave in the chat. Leave the video a like, and if you'd like to see me try to beat the game with Taunter's Tongue active the whole time, click this video here. And I hope to see you again in the next video.